Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Wotofo Troll RTA. Alright guys, so the tank is 24mm in width and 41mm in height, and it holds 5ml of juice capacity. It's a single post with a unique design, so the deck is stacked, so you've got the positive post at the top and then the negative at the bottom with the peak insulator splitting it down the middle. The color options you're given are stainless steel and black, and the price for the tank is $34.99 US from Vapor DNA, or if you're in Australia it's $36.95 from Vaporize. The links for the Troll off of those shops will be in the description. Alright, so here's what you get in the box. Taking it apart the first time, I noticed there was no real machine oil or any residue left behind. That's pretty common these days. I mean, most tanks don't really have any of that sort of stuff left in there. Everything's cleaned quite professionally and well. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't give it a once over anyway, just to be sure. You also get a spare piece of glass, and then going underneath the foam, you also get a user manual and 3 little comp wire baggies inside the box. I don't have the baggies anymore to show you because I'm using the coils and the wick now. And inside the bags you get fused claptons. It doesn't say what type of fused claptons they are, what metal they're using, but I'm pretty sure they're just Canthol. And then you also get one with O-rings and spare grub screws. And then you also get one with cotton as well. And you also get 3 different color variations with the O-rings. You get black, red and blue. So if you want to, you can switch out the black or the red or the blue and just match whatever mod you want to use or something like that. So I think it's a good little addition as well. Alright, now I'm going to give my opinions, my positives and negatives, and we'll take it from there. The airflow is really nice. It's really, when it's wide open, you get a lot of air coming into the tank and it gives you great flavor. I like to close mine off about halfway. I think it gives me a bit more flavor, and also I like a bit more of restriction. But either way you have it, it's perfect, to be honest. And I'm using the standard Claptons it came with, the comp wire ones, and I think they're just amazing. Like, they work really well. I haven't tried any other ones because I wanted to see what it was like with the ones it comes with, and I can't fault them. I'm also using the wick it comes with, the cotton, and I love it as well. It would be nice to see the airflow ring having steps in them. I really like it when you sort of twist it and it locks into place at different sort of variants of wide open or fully shut. I don't like it when they spin freely, as this one does. This one just sort of spins no problem, but it is quite restricted in a sense as well, so it's not going to change on you if you don't want it to. I think it will stay in its position, and yeah, I don't mind that, but yeah, it would be nice to have it stepped. I really like them when they are stepped. The tank itself has a really nice design to it. I like how simple it looks, and I also really like the typography at the front where it says the Troll. I think it really suits, and it's a really nice, just modern looking tank. Yeah, and another thing to note, which I didn't mention before, is the Claptons it comes with have a really nice ramp up speed. I haven't used any other coils yet because I wanted to see what it was like with the ones that came inside the box, and I really like it. I'm also using the wick that comes inside as well, and everything's working perfectly. I'm vaping mine at 55 watts at the moment on this iJoy Maxo 315 watt, and I'm also vaping Jam Dizzle by Nimbus Vapor. I really like this stuff. It's from 2 guys in Sydney, just 2 friends in Sydney. They're fucking awesome. Seriously, this juice is like the best donut juice I've ever had. I also like the Delrin top cap. I think it's really good that they've got this recessed sort of stainless steel inside of it, so you're not going to be worried about stripping the threads or anything like that. And I know that last week or the week before I reviewed the Digiflavor Fujisan, and I noticed that they had the exact same top cap, but they didn't have recessed stainless steel, and I know that that's going to start stripping if I was to use it more often, because Delrin is just a plastic. It will strip on you, and this having the stainless steel gives you that extra comfort knowing that it will last you a bit longer. One other thing I did notice is if you sort of wick it too much, if you put too much cotton down into the holes, it can create this sort of pressure vacuum sort of thing, so you have to sort of keep an eye on it. And if you start feeling a bit of a burnt hit, just unscrew the top cap. I'll do a close-up of this, but just unscrew the top cap and you'll notice that you'll see bubbles start releasing, so the pressure is sort of being equalized, and then you know that the wicks are getting more wet. So I also find that tipping it upside down and waiting for the juice to drop to the bottom and letting the air get to the wicks and then turning it up, you'll also notice more bubbles start to rise as well. So be careful on how much you wick it. I'm still using this first time I wicked it, I'm still using the same cotton, so I haven't re-wicked it yet. But when I do, I'm just going to put a little bit less cotton in there so you can get a bit more of a sort of airflow come through. And I also noticed if you crank down the top cap, it can also create a bit of a pressure system as well, so try not to do that. Just keep it sort of nice and loose. I mean, it's got O-rings there, so it's not going to fall off on you, and it's going to keep the juice out. But yeah, I wouldn't tighten it too much. And another sort of thing to be worried about is when you do open it and close it too often, juice just starts to form around the edges and it gets quite messy. So I would use the technique of tilting it upside down and then tilting it back if you find you're getting a dry head or something. I find that you get a nice warm vape out of this. I wouldn't say it's hot. It can be a little bit on the warm to hot side sometimes, I mean, if you're vaping it a lot, but mostly it's just warm. And I find that the Delrin top cap really helps with the heat. It doesn't transfer the heat onto your lips or anything like that. I think metal top caps and stuff, they transfer heat a lot more, so having the Delrin is a nice thing. Some people would probably prefer it be metal, just like the rest of the tank, but I think it's nice just to have the Delrin, just because of the heat transfer. And another thing to note is there's no adapter, so you can't put 510 drip tips on here or anything like that, so you're kind of just stuck with the one they gave you, which isn't a problem. I mean, I like it, it looks kind of nice. As you can see, I've also changed out the black O-rings it came with for blue ones because I wanted to match with the iJoy, and I think it matches really nicely. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I'll obviously do cinematic shots and stuff like that so you can see it. But overall, I'm very, very impressed with the way this tank's working for me. First time I wicked it, I didn't have a problem with it at all. No leaking, no nothing. It's just worked from the get-go. And I mean, what more could you ask for, really? I did also find that it doesn't leak on hot weather, so when the juice sort of turns a bit more watery and stuff like that, it doesn't just rush into the coils and down out the airflow holes as well. I mean, right now I'm sitting in a room and it's baking hot. I think it's about 32 degrees Celsius at the moment, so, and it's still working perfectly fine. I mean, it's not even overheating the box mod or anything like that either. And the tank itself is kind of warm, but I wouldn't say it's on the hot side. Now we'll move into pros and cons, and some of the pros I have for the tank. And firstly, it's got to be the stainless steel recess in the top cap. I really like that. Secondly, it's got to be the way it looks. I think it looks really smart. It looks really nice. I really like the way the typography works with the whole tank. I really like the overall sort of aesthetic of it. I think it's just a really nice looking tank. Thirdly, I really like the post. I really like the single post and sort of the uniqueness to it. And with that, I've noticed that with the airflow, you can't actually see directly through. So they've got a divider, which means you're not just having air rush in from either sides, straight in and up, which can cause actually quite a lot of noise for some tanks. It's better to have them divided like that, so it's just working individually rather than it just come in and then sort of the air gets flown around and then thrown up. I find that can actually cause noise. So this is on the quieter side to most of the RTAs now anyway. And for my fourth, I also like the height. I think it's really, like, it's not too like high or anything like that. It's just nice and compact and everything just works. I mean, the build deck is quite big as well. I added another wrap to my Claptons before I put them in, so I took them out of the comp wire bag and then I just twisted them around one more just to give that little bit extra width. And I think it's been working perfectly. I mean, you don't have to do that, but if you don't, you sort of have to space them out and then get them into the holes, whereas I prefer to just add another wrap and then they fit in perfectly. My fifth positive for this is the amount of juice it can take. I mean, it holds 5 ml of juice. It doesn't look like it holds that much, but it certainly does, and that's nice. I mean, it's pretty impressive considering that the build deck is in the middle and there's not actually a lot of room around the sort of deck itself between the glass. So to get 5 ml in there, it's a massive positive in my opinion. Alright, now let's talk about some of the negatives. Firstly, it has to be the top cap, not having a adapter or anything like that, so I can't put my own drip tips on and stuff like that. Not a huge negative in my opinion, but it would be nice. How hard would it be for them to make an adapter for something like this? It's really not that hard. So it would be nice to see something like that. And my second and last negative, and this one is really subjective anyway. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much, but I would like to have seen it in a different way, is the airflow ring. I really would like to see it have steps. But then again, as I say, it's completely subjective. Some people don't care, some people prefer it without them and stuff like that. So, but in my opinion, I would like to see that. And to be honest, overall, for the price and how everything works and how easy it is to get everything work, I mean, I would have no problems recommending something like this to a beginner or something. So for the price of what, $34.99 in America and $36.95 in Australia is unbelievable. I'm not even going to say would I recommend this to anyone. I would definitely. I think everyone should go out and buy this right now. I think it's for the flavor, for everything about it. It's just the perfect RTA that I've encountered so far. I love it so much. I mean, I'm not even being paid to say any of this stuff. I purchased this myself. I mean, I'm not a big enough YouTuber yet to have people send me products or me being sponsored by anyone. So everything you see me review, I buy myself, and this one is probably the best purchase I've made in a good couple months now. Another thing to note, which I have seen people do, I haven't actually had a problem with it yet, but I've seen people have had a problem with it. People like Twisted 420 and stuff like that, where they've melted the peak insulator between the positive and negative top and bottom. I'm assuming that's just because they put too much of a build on there, or too thick of a build, and they put it too close to the insulator. But also they were dry firing it. As soon as you wick it and as soon as you put cotton in there and stuff like that, that obviously won't happen to you because it won't ever get hot enough for that to happen. But yeah, do be cautious about dry firing it and sort of like getting your coils to glow evenly and stuff like that before you put the wicks in, because you don't want to burn the peak insulator. So maybe just give that little bit more room between the middle post and the coils anyway, just to be sure. I mean, you've still got plenty of room to play around in there. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, overall, I mean, with this new sort of unique build deck and stuff like that, and everything cool that's going on in this tank, it's 100% recommend for me, and I think everyone should go and buy it right now. So I hope you found my review or impressions a little bit interesting. I hope it maybe sort of helped you figure out whether you wanted to go and buy the Troll RTA right now or not. I would if I were you. But other than that, thanks for watching my video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my channel or you like what you see. And please don't be afraid to comment or message me if you want me to review anything, or if you have any sort of questions or anything like that, then I'm all ears. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.